Save the date! Do it now! Tuesday the 28th of this month will be the first day of the brand new era, and do you want Darth Jar Jar? Do you want him? Of course you want him. Your boy Scribble is here to tell you how you're gonna get that done from the free-to-play perspective, the minimum spender perspective, the dolphin, and the pig-holed whaley boy. Let's break it down, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the Holotables, to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald boy Scribe. How the devil are we doing? Before we begin here, ladies and gentlemen, I will be announcing a giveaway during this video that will help you along your path to Sith Lord Glory and Jar Jar Binks, the Darth version. That's right, so stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to kick this off with some fantastic giveaways. Anyway, people always ask me the question. They say, hey, Sir Scribulus, you're short, bald, and old. How did you get your Jar Jar set up? I was like, well, you'll have to ask me in the future. We've only got Rotter done at the moment. Of course, we did Cassian, and yes, we did Maul. On the free-to-play alt account, I also unlocked Cassian, and I also unlocked Rotter the Hutt. Okay, it's perfectly doable as a free-to-play player. I'm going to walk through how you do it at those individual steps. If you only want to spend a little bit, if you maybe have a broader appetite for spending, and then if you want to go big boy whaling, go in balls deep all the way down into Darth Jar Jar's future, then I've got the solutions for you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to how error systems work, essentially they are spread out over 3 months in total. Each individual month is known as a particular episode, okay? And I am having a particular episode today. So we are coming up to the end of this particular episode. Episode 3 of the Era of the New Republic. Once this is finished in 4 days and 3 hours, we will start the next one. Marquees tend to release on a Tuesday, or as the Britons like to call it, Tuesday, innit? We like to release it on a Tuesday, innit? And our first one is going to be the rather wonderful looking and rather spicy looking Mara Jade Skywalker. Look at her, I mean, she's rather fantastic, isn't she? She will be the first one. I can't remember the order that it's coming out. I believe it starts with Mara Jade. It might be going into Luke. I can't remember the exact order, but the order doesn't exactly matter. What matters is your approach, okay? So let's break this down from every perspective. We're going to start off with the free-to-play perspective. How do we do this? Okay, so from purely free-to-play perspective, and I mean the actual free-to-play perspective, not the I just occasionally buy a couple of episode passes and lightspeed bundles. I mean literally spending no money whatsoever. Your only option, if you want to do this, is going to be a 5-star unlock of Darth Jar Jar at the end of this triple era. There is no way for you to actually earn the materials to go beyond that, okay? Because it requires materials that you can only get through cash, okay? So have that perspective in mind first and foremost. Secondly, you can do this with crystals, but you are going to have to be incredibly frugal with your crystal expenditure. If you are getting top of fleet arena, if you are high in GAC, this is going to be a lot easier for you. So what do we need to do? Basically, day 1 of each and every marquee that comes out to this game, you will need to, on the very first day, you will need to purchase the packs with crystals that allow you to get shards of the marquee event. Now, I don't think we've actually got even any in the store at the moment because the final marquee for this has finished. But what you will notice, day 1 of Marquee, there will be a Marquee booster pack that you can buy. They cost 1,300 crystals a piece. It's like this over here, 13 crystals a piece, and they can give you between 5 and 330 shards of an individual character. That individual character relates to the Marquee, so in this case it will be Mara Jade Skywalker. There are also other packs. There is one that is a 5 pull, so you get 5 packs, and there is a slight discount there. I believe that is 5,900 crystals. And then there is a 12 pull pack, and that one is actually the best value in terms of crystal to pack ratio. It gives you 12 packs for the cost of 10, basically. So it's 13,000 crystals, apologies, and you get 12 packs, okay? Now, the average pull for these packs is going to be 7 shards. 7 shards. You can get 5. The chances of getting 5 are like 15%, I want to say. But most likely, you are going to get 7 shards. And that's like a 65% chance of happening. You can go all the way up to 330, but you're not going to pull it. I've never pulled a 330. Never in my life, in all of my whaley days. Maybe you will, Comment down below if you pulled the 330. Okay, so with that in mind, the pure free-to-play perspective, you are going to be purchasing, at the very least, the 5 pull. Okay, the 5 pull, because it is slightly cheaper. It's 6,000 crystals for you to do that. Now, if the average pull is 7 shards and you're getting 5 packs, that gives you 35 shards on average per 5 pull of the booster packs, okay? The downside is you need 40 shards for every marquee, which means you will most likely be pulling at least 1 more pack. Now, don't get me wrong, you might get lucky in that 5 pull. Statistically speaking, you are almost just as likely to pull more than a 7 as you were to pull a 5 if you combine all of the odds, basically, beyond 7. It's like 16% or something for a 5 pull and like 14.5% to get anything above a 7. You're almost just as likely to get one or the other. However, if you just pull all 7s, you definitely need to pull 1 more because you get 35. That 1 more, if you get all 7s, will definitely give you the exact amount that you need. So, when you have got your 40 shards, and you'll know how much you have, because when you go through the marquee event, you will see, you know, when you're sharding up your units, you'll have X number out of, to get to 5 stars, it's going to be 65. So on day 1 of the event, you need to be at 35 out of 65 shards for that character. That means on the last day, you will be getting that character unlocked. Now, when I say that, it is incredibly dependent on one thing. It needs to be day 1 of the marquee event. 2, you need to play every single tier of the marquee event that you can complete every single day that marquee is around, okay? When you go through the marquee, essentially, once you hit 4 stars, you will unlock a tier, I think it's tier 3 of the marquee event, that will give you 5 shards every single day that you play it. So, of course, over a 6 additional day period, 6 times 5 is 30, you're going to get 30 additional shards, so you need to be at 35 out of 65. Does this make sense? Drive it home, ladies and gentlemen. Drive it home, ladies and gentlemen. After you've done day 1 of the marquee, and you've done all of the tiers of the event, you need to be at 35 out of 65 shards. Say it back to me. 35 out of 65 shards. Bingo bango, we're in it. Okay, and you need to do that for every single marquee. There's no secret sauce. That's just it. It's just about saving. So, in reality, what does that look like in terms of crystal expenditure? Well, we already spoke about buy the 5 pack because it is the most economical. You could buy one 1300 pack and you could get like 60 shards. And you'll be like, yay, I saved a load of crystals. You're not going to, all right? The odds are not in your favor, ladies and gentlemen. They're not in your favor. Only Scribbles is in your favor. All right, so you're going to buy that 5 pack, that's 6,000 crystals. You're most likely going to need at least 1 more, which is 7,300 crystals. Marquees come out every 2 weeks. So you need to save up at least 7,300 crystals every 2 weeks. If I were you, I would operate on the side of caution and try to save up more than that, just in case you get absolutely skunked on shards, because that can happen. It can and will happen, all right? Because those shards there might give you, you know, some good drops, but you might actually get like 3 5s and 2 7s out of your 5 pull, and all of a sudden you're not looking so pretty. You've lost yourself essentially almost an entire pack worth of shards, which means you're gonna have to buy another pack. Okay, so try to save like 9,000 crystals every 2 weeks if you're going for like the let's just be prepared. Okay, so what does that look like on a daily basis? Let's get the oldie calculator up. Yes, I am old enough to remember what abacuses are. Fortunately, we don't need to do it. So let's say we're going for the 7,300. Yeah, let's just say that. Over 14 days, you need to save yourself basically 522 shards, or crystals rather, every single day. That does sound like a lot when you first look at it, but if you're top of Fleet Arena, that's 400 crystals. Every day with your just daily activities, doing your objectives, you'll get 100. If you start winning GAC matches, you're going to get anywhere between 900 crystals and like 150 crystals or something like that. You're going to get little bits and bobs as you go over through various assault battles. You'll get it from stuff like TB and things like that. It all just sort of adds up together over time. All right, so try to make sure you're saving 529. On my free-to-play I had to do that quite religiously and basically do no refreshes. it's possible. You can do it if you really need those Lightspeed tokens or if you just really want that Journey Guide event unit. It can be done. Now, here's the silver lining for the free-to-play folk. Ladies and gentlemen, the very last marquee of each era you can technically skip. So it was Snow Trooper Commander this time. If you are going for a 5-star unlock of the Journey Guide unit, you actually do not need the last marquee. In this instance, it's going to be the Ronin. Now, it's a little bit different with this era coming up for Darth Jar Jar, because Darth Jar Jar uses the Ronin in his team. He's part of the staple 5-man team. You've got, evil Groblin Yoda, you've got Ronin, and then it's Sidious and Maul is going to be his team alongside Darth Jar Jar, right? So you kind of do want to invest in the Ronin, but for the actual physical unlock, you do not have to do it, okay? That means in the last 2 weeks of the era, you can actually build up a bit of a crystal hoard, ready for the next era if you want to push for the next legendary. So keep that in mind. What I will say is if you're not pushing for the 5-star unlock on Ronin, maybe just take him to 4-star. You can do that in like 1 or 2 pulls. You need 15 shards. If you get lucky, you could get it done in 2 pulls, which is 2,600 crystals. A number of times I've done it with just 1 pull. Got them 15 shards and that's all you needed to go straight to 4-star. The reason I recommend that is because for the rest of that marquee event, you will actually still be earning some additional shards every day. It's not bad, is it? You'll get some additional juicy business just for going to that next star level. That's worth it in my book, okay? You'll get yourself an extra 30 shards that you won't have to farm later. Okay, so let's look at this from the minimum spender. The guy who just wants to put a little bit of cash into the game to try and get his Darth Jar Jar. The one thing, if you're going to spend any money in this game and you want to try and get Darth Jar Jar, go ahead and grab yourself the episode pass. I can't really show it over here. I know how I can show it to you. So the episode pass, you can buy this for every single era. Now, there's a pass and a pass plus. The pass plus, I would say, is really, really good value for those of you that want to spend more. So those of you in the dolphin range, right? Go ahead, buy the pass plus, and I'll explain why in a moment. But standard episode pass is probably the single best purchase you can make on a recurring basis in this game, bar none. It's just amazing, okay? With each episode pass, it covers an entire month's worth of gameplay, so each episode, essentially 3 in an entire era. These will give you 20 shards of each of the marquees that are in that episode, right? So Mara Jade plus whoever's next, can't remember. Is it the new Luke? I'm not sure. For $20, you're basically looking at $1 per shard, and that will give you a massive head start onto getting them to 4-star and 5-star. Well, get you immediately to 4-star. It'll nearly get you to 5-star. You'll only need another 20 shards, essentially, to get to 5-star. Which means if you just buy this $20 purchase, you need to get essentially 3 more marquee pulls on those packs, or 3,600 crystals worth of pulls, to get yourself up to 5 stars. Okay? That's not too bad. You'll get yourself a 5-star unlock for $20 a month, and then 3,600 crystals of the individual pulls. Now, if you wanted to play it safe, you could buy the 5-pack, and that will 100% guarantee, absolutely unequivocally, no matter what, even if you get dog shit RNG, you'll still get that 5-star unlock. Obviously, that costs more crystals. That's 6,000 crystals, not 3,600, or 3,900, sorry. But, you know, it's going to guarantee it for you. So if you're looking for the minimum amount of investment, use this episode pass to give you loads of benefits. It's not just the fact that you're going to get the free character shards, because you'll essentially get 20 on the very first tier here. You can see this one was for Grogu and Zelens. And then when you get to like level 10, there you go, you'll get another 20. This case it was Snow Trooper Commander. In our case, it'll be, you know, Starkiller Luke or whatever it is. So really, really easy. And then you just top it up with the marquee pulls, right, to get to 5-star. Now, if you wanted to go all the way to 7-star, you have to be in mind, this is not really in the remit of a minimum spender. Because if you are looking to go for a 7-star unlock of the Journey Guide unit, you are looking at, and I shit you not, $50 per character for the era leveling alone. Okay, 6 characters, $50 a piece, you're looking at $300. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, okay? Now, it's a little bit different this time around because we are getting those extra Mark 7s, okay? Extra Mark 7 materials. It's probably going to knock off about $60 of that cost, so you're probably looking at $240 instead, right? Just on era levels, but that's on top of everything that you'd need to get these characters to 7 stars. So I'm looking at the minimum spender as somebody that's just looking for a 5-star unlock. We're going to jump up, because the rest of the era looks exactly the same for those people. We're going to jump up now to the next tier. We're looking at that mid-spender. So for the mid-spender, the best thing you could do is buy the Pass Plus. This Pass Plus used to be a complete trap. All it used to give you was 10 extra levels in the episode pass. It basically gave you a shortcut. You just immediately jumped to 10. However, the Pass Plus now comes with a Brucey bonus. That Brucey bonus is a free pack that gives you 20 additional shards of both marquee units. So it gets you 40 shards off the gate. And what does 40 shards off the gate translate to? An immediate 5-star unlock. Okay, it gets you all the shards you need to 5-star unlock the Journey Guide unit at the end. Now you do have to buy this 3 times. It's $40 each month, basically. So $120 across the entire era, but it will guarantee you a 5-star unlock. Provided, once again, you do it on day 1. You have to play every day of the marquee, and you have to remember to pick up the bonus pack. Now that bonus pack can appear in the web store, and it can appear in the era store in-game. Make sure you check it all the time. Vitally important. You have to do it day 1 of the marquee because the marquees give you the additional shards that help you push further. Now, for those mid-spenders that are maybe looking to push further and higher to maybe get a 7-star unlock, you can use that as the best ground zero point to push to 7-star unlocks. But keep in mind, 7-star unlocks means an additional roughly $240 on era leveling alone, which means you still need to get those characters to 7-star and invest in the era levels. It becomes an expensive endeavor. Those of you that are looking to do that 7-star unlock, you have to take the characters to 6 stars day 1 of the marquee, which means you are going to need to find yourself quite a significant amount of additional shards. Okay, now you can take that same approach. You can buy the Pass Plus, and then usually I would buy the Surge pack, which is the 12 packs for the cost of 10. It's 13,000 crystals. That should give you on average about 84 shards. Okay, problem is you need about 110, which means you are most likely going to have to purchase. Oh no, you need about 100, sorry. You need to purchase roughly another 3 packs on top of that, which is obviously, let's just call it 4,000 crystals. You are looking at roughly 16,000 crystals per character on top of the Pass Plus. Now you don't have to do this. If you want to skip the RNG, if you want to just forget all of the RNG, what I would recommend is, and this is for the big endgame whale now, we're moving into that territory because the mid-spender to me is the guy that's putting $40 a month, gets that 5-star unlock and forgets about it, right? If we're looking for the full-blown whale experience, getting whaley in this, all right? You can still go ahead and buy that episode Pass Plus. It still gives you the 10 levels. It'll give you 40 shards of each character at the start. It's got some great value to it, right? What you have to do on top of that is 2 things. Either you go ahead and you spend those Surge packs, plus whatever additional marquee packs that you need to buy on top. It might be like an extra 3, which really will suck. It'll burn your wallet. Or the very simple solution is that during these marquees, after you've bought this Pass Plus, there is always a marquee pack. Okay, you can see this is the standard marquee pack, right? There is always a marquee pack in here, similar to this, right? Similar to this, which costs $100. It's $100 straight up, but it will give you 130 shards of the marquee character. It'll give you everything that you need to go all the way up to 6 stars, 10 out of 100, so that you'll be able to just immediately take all of your units to 7 stars. Now, 7 stars, as I've said before, is not enough anymore. CG has monetized basically gearing for Journey Guide units and then time gated it behind when is the unit coming back. All right. Now, I've never liked this system. I made myself quite clear that I don't like this. This is just additional spending on top of stuff we already had to do. They've, flowered it up by giving us additional things like era battles and Journey Guide units, and then they've tied in Colosseum rewards and all the era stuff that you get from that to get extra era materials there and all that. I don't care. Oh, and the extra stuff that you get from the Journey Guide unlock. I don't care. But basically, if you just drop the $100 on the marquee packs, plus the episode pass. You don't even need the Pass Plus at this point, I don't believe. that will give you 7 stars day 1. At the end of it, you are going to have to save about $240, like I said, for error leveling, just to take all those units up to error level 125, which is going to be the error level that we need, okay? That's the error level that you're going to need on all of your marquees. 125, make sure if you get that 5-star unlock of Darth Jar Jar, do not immediately spend all your currency on leveling them up. It'll give you better Colosseum rewards, but it just means you're going to have to spend more on error leveling materials to get your rest of your marquees up, okay? So before we go, let's talk one moment about the error levels that you need to hit. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're going for a 4-star unlock, which I don't believe anybody really should, but if you are doing it, just need 4 stars on the first 5 marquees, so you can ignore the Ronin, and you need an error level 90 on the dark side Yoda, okay? Error level 90 is easily accessible, should be accessible to literally everybody, no additional spending required for that. If you're going for the 5-star unlock, which I think is basically the happy medium, you're going to need to have all the marquee units apart from Ronin, and you need to take Star Killer Luke Concept in particular to error level 95, okay? He's the one that you're going to have to take to 95. Looks like this is the order, by the way. Mara Jade, Yoda, Star Killer, Stormtrooper, Jackson, and then Ronin. Next up, 6-star. I treat this as the same way as I look at 4-star. Basically, you either go 5-star or you go 7-star. Don't go for the middle ground. You get a little bit of extra, but it's just like, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. You might as well just wait. Okay, so for the 6-star unlock, you need all of the marquee units at 6 stars minimum. You need to take Mara Jade Skywalker to error level 110, which is vitally important, because each era you can only take a certain number of units up to 110 if you are not going full ball whaling, okay? So be careful about where you spend these resources. Next up then, tier 4, the final one for a 7-star unlock. You need all of the marquee units at 7-star, and each unit has to be at error level 125, which is the expensive one. Now, I'm not going to detail and break down how much this costs, because it changes all the time. It's changed every era so far. So I will do a cover up on this when we get to the end of the era and we know how much this is going to cost. But for ballpark figure, it has cost anywhere between $240 and $300 to take your characters up to 125. So keep that figure in mind, ladies and gentlemen. And it has to be on all of them. So get ready to crack open that wallet and embrace credit card debt. All right, cool. Spend responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not encouraging people to get into unmanageable amounts of debt or any sort of debt, realistically speaking, for the sake of pixels, no matter how much we enjoy them and no matter how much Jar Jar makes me giggle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke earlier today in this video about a giveaway, and this is that time. This is that giveaway. So I will be giving away 5, count them, 5 rewards to subscribers of this channel. In order to enter this particular giveaway, 1, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little subscribe button and like the video. 2, leave a comment down below with 2 things. 1, which myth/legendary character would you most like to see in the game? And 2, your ally code, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to need those if you want your rewards. What are those rewards? Interestingly enough, it's actually entirely up to you. I've got 2 for you to pick from. The first is going to be an episode pass. There you go. It's great value, right? You get 20 shards of each marquee as well as access to the premium track of rewards in the episode. If you've already bought the episode pass, or maybe you just want to try your luck, I will let you have a 5 booster pack pull of Mara Jade Skywalker, giving you the opportunity to get a head start on your journey towards Darth Jar Jar, ladies and gentlemen. That will get you anywhere between 25 shards and 330 plus shards of Mara Jade Skywalker, but it will be random pulls direct to your inbox, ladies and gentlemen. So do me a favor, if you want to be involved in this particular giveaway, give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment down below with your favorite myth/legend unit that you'd want to see in game, and I will announce the winner on Monday. That's in like 4 days or 3 days or something like that. I wish you all the best, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.